A massive winter storm takes aim at central and eastern Kentucky. I've got the latest call for snowfall on the way.
Preparations are underway in Frankfort as state leaders are bracing for a winter storm that they believe will impact the entire Commonwealth.
Madison County first responders are offering a helping hand once these roads become covered with snow and ice. But they're also asking the people they serve to help them by being prepared.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you. It's coming. A major winter storm is set to hit the bluegrass.
It could be a record setter. Some areas could see more than a foot of snow. Let's begin with WKYT's chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, with a look at what's ahead. You've been telling us for quite some time this was coming.
Yeah, this storm was on our radar late last week and carried over into the start of this week. And here we are with a potential blockbuster storm that is right on our doorstep, ready to just break the door down right on into Kentucky and most of the eastern part of the country. Low pressure, strong low developing here across parts of Texas. Look at the slug of moisture that is coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. We've got severe weather on the south side of this low. Tornado warnings out not too far away from Baton Rouge right now. Upper level low that is diving into the backside of this, and those two in tandem will continue to pick up moisture and throw it toward Kentucky. Right now, starting to see rain breaking out into Tennessee. Eventually, that I-40 corridor over the next 3 or 4 hours, we'll begin to see a wintry mix developing. That'll surge into southern Kentucky into the wee hours of the morning. Then everybody gets in on the act across the rest of the area. Nothing going on now, but that winter storm warning is out for the entire state for tonight through tomorrow and into early Saturday. Significant amounts of snow on the way Friday and into Friday evening. That's also the time frame we're going to be watching for winds that can crank to 35 miles an hour. The result of those two, blowing and drifting snow. It doesn't matter if you're on the low end of the spectrum with just a few 5, 6, 7 inches of snow, or you're on the absolute top of that spectrum with greater than a foot of snow. Whatever you get tomorrow is going to whip around, and you're going to be seeing some big-time drifts that will be developing, and those two can shut down some roads across central and eastern Kentucky. Then you look at the snowfall forecast as of now. Sharp gradient close to the Ohio River, Covington toward the Evansville-Owensboro area. We're not worried about that. We're into the heart of the heaviest snowfall tomorrow into tomorrow night and Saturday morning. 8 to 16, Lexington Metro, south and southwest, 10 to 18. East of Lexington for areas such as the Big Sandy Valley, parts of the Licking River Valley toward Moorhead and Ashland. Some indication a few spots there, guys, may exceed those numbers and approach 20-inch totals before this storm is through. We will continue to watch the radar. We're now into what we call nowcasting mode, where, yeah, we're going to still look at the computer models, but now it's all about watching exactly what the storm is doing. It is formed, it is on its way, and we're going to continue to track it and update the progress and the snowfall totals as the evening wears on.
Chris, thank you. Now, with a storm that could potentially impact the entire state on the way, emergency management leaders spent much of the last 24 hours coordinating the state's response.
Hillary Thornton begins our First Alert team weather coverage now in Frankfort.
With a blanket of snow already covering much of the state from Wednesday's weather, leaders are bracing for a storm they say will impact all 120 Kentucky counties.
This storm event is going to be a significant one for the Commonwealth.
That is why Emergency Management Director Michael Dossett activated the State Operations Center that is running at a level 4, meaning extra staff is on hand to monitor the system. It is also why Governor Matt Bevin announced the Kentucky National Guard is on high alert, ready to provide any assistance needed during the storm, set to bring a variety of elements, including ice.
That, coupled with wet snow and wind gusting, spells problems. Our biggest concern is power.
As state leaders prepare here in Frankfort, they are strongly asking that everyone limit their travel once this storm rolls in.
If you have travel as a necessity, get it over and done with today, please. Tomorrow will be a complete all day long weather event, and it will start late this evening again, and you'll see snowfall through the entire day. it is critical that we have our emergency services folks out there and able to get up and down roadways and interstates.
Governor Bevin echoes Director Dossett's message, encouraging everyone, except in the case of emergency, to stay off of the roads and prepare for any inconvenience during this major snow event. In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Transportation cabinet workers as well as contract crews are prepared to work around the clock to help restore road conditions once the storm hits.
Checking on Madison County now, first responders say that if you want to help them prepare for tomorrow's big storm, you should make sure to prepare yourself. WKYT's Victor Puente has more on that.
First responders in Madison County are expecting to be pretty busy over the next couple of days. They tell me the people they serve can help lighten that load by helping themselves. With significant amounts of snow expected to fall in Madison County, officers and deputies are offering the same advice.
Are going to encourage our citizens to stay home if they don't need to be out.
Any kind of medication they may need, groceries, whatever it may be, go ahead and plan ahead and plan to be at home for a couple of days.
First responders from across the county will be helping medical professionals get to work. They expect enough of a request for those rides that the Madison County Rescue Squad is asking people who need medicine and food to get it now because they aren't sure how quickly they'll be able to respond. Even those rides for nurses and doctors could come with a delay, so police are asking for advance notice.
Maybe an hour advance, just as much as they can give, because we're probably going to be giving a lot of rides.
They hope this offer will cut down on the number of drivers they have to help over the next few days.
The less people we have on the road, the less likely we are to have collisions and have to respond to those kind of calls.
Berea police say they'll also be helping with deliveries of medicine over the next couple of days, but they warn that there could be a long delay because of how many calls they're expecting. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police in Berea say they'll be using social media to update people on the road conditions there.
Organizations that help the homeless have been busy because of the cold. Now they'll have to ramp up their efforts even more to make sure that no one without a place to stay gets caught out in this winter storm. Caitlin Sentner continues our First Alert Weather Team coverage in Fayette County.
The Catholic Action Center's Compassionate Caravan has been circling Lexington streets for days straight.
And picking up people, it's amazing the last 10 days since we've had our hotline number of 913-0038 that folks have called, over 1,300 calls. And our volunteers have gone up and picked up people, and we're trying to be sure everybody comes on in tonight.
The winter weather has volunteers concerned about the city's homeless. They don't want anyone freezing in this weather.
Normally the shelters are open between 7 at night and 8 in the morning, but until we get through this event, they'll be open 24 hours a day.
The Community Inn, when it opens tonight, will not close until Sunday.
The Catholic Action Center will also be open 24/7. Food has been donated to ensure the shelter can take care of its visitors all day long. But it's not an easy feat getting everyone inside.
They feel more safe in their own places that they have developed where they stay. Their own camps, their own little hidey holes, as we call them.
Co-founder of this center, Jenny Ramsey, says she's not giving up on anyone.
Can you imagine if all of us would go outside and stand on our porches in the midst of this storm and think, I can't go back in, I have no place to go? It might have the reality of what it is for many people who have no place to go.
The caravan will be out making rounds until four-wheel drive doesn't work on the roads, but they're hopeful that won't become an issue. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
If you spot someone that needs food or shelter, you can call the Compassionate Caravan hotline. That number is 859-913-0038. Stay on top of the snow and traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores.
With the major snowstorm on the way, we know that some of you may have to rely on portable generators, especially if we have power outages. Our good question tonight, what are the safety considerations if I'm using a generator when it comes to carbon monoxide? The Kentucky Public Service Commission says the improper use of a generator can be extremely dangerous. Carbon monoxide is a real threat. So here's a few tips to keep in mind. Only operate generators in well-ventilated areas and never in a garage, basement, or a breezeway. Do not operate generators near windows, doors, or in other areas where exhaust fumes could be drawn into a home. And do not use charcoal grills, gas grills, or other open flame devices indoors for heating. If you do lose power, contact your utility company immediately. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
The winter storm is also affecting the legislative session in the state capitol. What it means for Kentucky lawmakers next on WKYT News at 5:30.
I'm Bill Bryant. Decision time for Lexington Mayor Jim Gray, who may be about to launch a U.S. Senate campaign. Meanwhile, incumbent Rand Paul says don't count him out in the presidential race. The bottom line is ahead.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 104.5 The Cat.
Man Chrysler had a great year. Thank you. We're so grateful, we're bottoming out 2015 models and offering special markdowns on 2016s too.
You're gonna drive away saying, man, what a deal.
If you've asked any company to stop calling your cell phone and they don't, you may be entitled to $1,500 for every one of those calls, even if you owe them money. Banks and other debt collectors must respect your privacy, and you have the right not to be bombarded with robocalls. If you've received an unwanted call in the last 4 years, you need to call us and see if you're entitled to $1,500 per call by law. Let's fight back, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Think for a moment. You don't think twice about having your eyes tested, but what about your hearing? Hi, I'm Marcia Mattingly. At Beltone, we've helped thousands of people lead richer, fuller lives by showing them that they can hear the way they should. At Beltone, a free hearing test can determine if you need hearing help. Call now. You have everything to gain. 50 years and 3 generations serving the tri-state with the most trusted name in hearing aids, Beltone.
Hello there.
Hello.
How do you like the car you're sitting in right now?
It's so nice. I think it's beautiful. I like this.
You're sitting in a truck that's its own Wi-Fi hotspot.
Really? I didn't know they did that.
Woo! Hey guys.
Hi. Hey. Were we talking to you?
So you think that's a good thing to get auto show bonus cash?
Who doesn't like having cash handed to them?
Use your Auto Show bonus cash to get $2,500 total cash allowance on this Chevy Cruze. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Curly fries are perfect just the way they are. Like when you see a celeb without makeup and you're like, that celeb is really beautiful. They don't need makeup. Oh my gosh, who is this? Cheddar cheese and ranch and bacon? That celeb is way out of my league. Mix and match new loaded curly fries or any of these classic sandwiches for just $5. Arby's, we have the meats.
Nothing excites us more at Man Chrysler than helping someone find their new car. Thank you for your trust. Stop in and see the 2016 models.
You're gonna drive away saying, man, what a deal.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. We rolled it on right on through Friday into Saturday. At this point, may go into Sunday morning because of bitterly cold temperatures that follow this winter storm. Winter storm warning is out for all of Kentucky. That includes every single county, all 120 under this winter storm warning. Surrounding states as well. This goes to the mid-Atlantic states where it turns into a blizzard warning for our nation's capital. They freaked out over an inch of snow yesterday into D.C. Can you imagine 2 feet of snow? What's going to happen? They're going to shut it down. We may shut parts of Kentucky down over the next 48 hours as well. We're going to get in on a major winter storm that begins to show itself across southern Kentucky around midnight. Tennessee border counties lifting to the north with a nasty wintry mix, some snow, sleet, freezing rain, and some plain old rain that will then work to that Interstate 64 corridor right around daybreak tomorrow, if not a little sooner. Some of the short-range models are getting a little antsy with that snow, trying to bring it in here before daybreak now into the Lexington metro. Significant snowfall will then become likely Friday into Friday night. We've set the stage for this the entire week. Blowing, drifting snow is a good likelihood as winds tomorrow night gusts greater than 30 miles per hour. If you're looking for the peak of this storm, it is roughly from noon through midnight tomorrow. That is when this storm will be at its absolute worst across the entire area in terms of snow and those high winds. After midnight, we'll start to see the snows lightening a little bit, but you got to keep in mind, lightening the snowfall would just be taking it toward a normal snow instead of one that can produce 2-inch per hour snows tomorrow afternoon, which is possible in some areas. Snowfall forecast, not anticipating a whole lot of changes as we roll forward. This is a major winter storm for the entire state of Kentucky. Areas in red, you're going to get the most snow out of this as it stands right now. General 8 to 16 inches for parts of central and west central Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky, look out. You could be right in the bullseye for the heaviest snows across the Ohio Valley, and then that extends into parts of West Virginia. 10 to 18 inches of snow. I've got several computer models that have some hot spots of 20+ inches showing up eastern Kentucky. Nothing across Kentucky now, but look at that moisture shield trying to get into the Nashville, Tennessee area now, and we're going to continue to see that lifting its way onto the north. I know a lot of folks will look at computer models online now and everything like that. What I've been looking at for the past several days, for those of you who are into such a thing, and trust me, by my Twitter feed, many of you love to look at a lot of the same stuff we look at. Short-range ensemble forecast models have been all over the amount of moisture this storm is going to have as it rolls its way toward the northeast. And right now what you're seeing, a lot of the computer models that we show you on the hour-by-hour forecast are now, as we get closer to this, picking up on that increase in juice. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, dark blue, heavy snow. And that's a heavy snow band that, boy, just keeps on pumping out the snows, 1 or 2 per hour as we go through tomorrow evening. Then that storm wraps up across the East Coast, continues to throw snows back in here right on through Saturday morning. Notice how the snows come from northeast to southwest. That band holds right across eastern Kentucky right on through Saturday afternoon. It is beyond that. With clear skies Saturday night, Sunday morning, we may be near zero, give or take 5 degrees on either side of zero. I've got one model that says -7 Lexington Sunday morning. I don't know if we get that cold. Got to clear the skies out. Another little light snowmaker is possible Monday night into Tuesday of next week. That'll be nothing compared to what we have tomorrow, though.
Yeah, right.
Tomorrow's a big storm, guys. Has a chance to best both storms that we had last winter.
And we had a lot of snow.
And we had a lot of snow.
Yeah. Chris, thank you.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic. For now, it looks like everything's moving okay with a couple of collisions to deal with. One is in the Hamburg area. It's a Star Chute in Sir Barton. No one's hurt. Just one lane of Star Chute is blocked, so not a major impact there. Over to Betty Hope in Leestown. That is a 3-car non-injury crash. They're working on clearing it. Also a reminder that 64 West is closed in Shelby County. That's westbound 64 to the Waddy-Patona exit. That's because of an overturned travel trailer. Now back to you in the studio.
A major deadline looming for Lexington Mayor Jim Gray.
And more Democrats join the race to face Congressman Andy Barr. Bill Bryant has today's bottom line.
Good evening. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray is spending a busy day getting the city ready to deal with the incoming snow and also making a final decision about whether he will run for the United States Senate. The filing deadline is Tuesday, and Gray says everyone will know by then. But he makes it clear that he's making the decision based on lots of careful consideration and acknowledging that he is getting encouragement from national Democrats and from friends who he says tell him he would be well equipped to deal with issues in Washington.
And I've been encouraged by a lot of folks that this is a race that should be made. So it's always encouraging to hear that. I've said many times that I enjoy my job and my role as mayor, and that's been a real blessing and had many rewards to it.
Do you lean toward it at this point?
Well, Bill, we'll find out after this weekend and the first of next week.
Mayor Gray also talks about the city's better capacity to deal with snow, and we're joined by Albert Miller, who heads up Lexington Streets and Roads Division, to talk about snow removal. This is for Kentucky Newsmakers, which airs Sunday morning at 6 on WKYT. It repeats at 10 a.m. Sunday on the CW Lexington. If he runs for the Democratic Senate nomination, Gray would be aiming for the seat held now by Republican Senator Rand Paul, who is is seeking re-election while also running for president. Paul is telling folks up in New Hampshire not to count him out in the run for the White House. He says he has committed supporters who will show up at the polls there in the first voting state in the union as far as a primary. 6th District Congressman Andy Barr is going to have competition as he runs for a third term in D.C. Retired engineer Jeffrey Young has filed as a Democrat. Air Force veteran Michael Koblenz is also running in the primary. And today, longtime Minister Nancy Jo Kemper announced her campaign for the Democratic nomination. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Kentucky State Legislature has canceled its session tomorrow due to the winter storm. Both the House and Senate met today, though major legislation has been delayed until after Governor Bevin delivers his first budget next Tuesday. Both chambers are scheduled to reconvene on Monday.
Tonight, it comes down to winning on the road, Rob.
Well, that's right. Not often easy, and it's true tonight for both John Calipari's team and Matthew Mitchell's. We will hear from Scalabiciere, who's been getting some help from one of his teammates who knows what he's going through. Stay with us for sports.
CBS Tonight. Falling in love with a rich guy is great.
To Christy. For your mother.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to ride this pony right into the winner's circle.
Hey, at least somebody's happy.
Do you not see the big picture here? That you're pimping out your daughter? Oh, so you do see it.
A new mom. Then you've never met a guardian angel like Amy.
You're getting a face full of sisters now, aren't you? I'm sorry. Or should I say you're welcome?
New angel from hell right after a new mom, CBS Tonight.
Brutal blizzard this weekend.
Other polar vortex coming.
Snowpocalypse.
Winter is here. Are you ready? No matter what winter throws at you, you can power through it. Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. Bring on winter. For a limited time, choose the 2016 Nissan Rogue, just $199 per month, or get a $289 per month lease on Pathfinder. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
No two babies are alike. And no two birthing experiences are alike. At the Women's Hospital at St. Joseph East, we believe you should have your baby your way, with a birthing plan designed around you and a level 3 neonatal ICU. A personalized childbirth experience isn't just good for mom, it's good for baby. Kentucky One Health, the one name in healthcare.
Lexington Furniture's winter clearance sale has been extended through this Saturday. Many items throughout the store are priced below cost for this special sales event. Save on quality furniture and accessories from brand names such as C.R. Lane, Hancock & Moore, Stanley, Henredon, Bernhardt, and many others. Add the finishing touches to your home and save during Lexington Furniture's winter clearance sale. Sale ends this Saturday. Lexington Furniture. It's furniture you'll love to live with.
I wasn't too thrilled about dentures, but I need to be able to chew. So I called Aspen Dental. They got me right in because my visit was long overdue. And no one on staff even made me feel bad that I hadn't been in since the leg warmer fad. My new dentures came with a great guarantee, so this giant pretzel's got nothing on me.
With dentures starting at $3.99 and a money-back guarantee, dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
Compare the Ford Fusion and the Toyota Camry and you'll see there's no comparison.
During Paul Miller Ford's Get Into the New sales event, trade up to a new 2016 Ford Fusion. Save with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $2,000 trade assist. Get into a new 2016 Ford Fusion as low as $16,990.
Come to Paul Miller Ford and dare to compare. You'll see the new Ford Fusion leads the way. Come to Paul Miller Ford, the Big Blue Nation destination.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
The Cats are at Arkansas tonight. Kentucky opened a slight underdog, but is now rated a 3-point favorite. Now, if Scalabiciere could come on here in the second half of the season, it would give this team a lift. He's played better in the last two games against Mississippi State and Auburn. Assistant John Robick says Scal is similar to Alex Poitras when he came in as a freshman.
A lot of similarities.
And from the physical standpoint to just getting through it, and Alex, I think, would tell you the same thing. And he's been a good shoulder for Scal to lean on because he's seen it.
He's been here 4 years, so I've been fortunate to learn a lot from him. He talks to me whenever I need help. He walks me through things, so he's been a big help, encouraging me, telling me to keep my head up, keep working. He's been through the same thing.
But you know what? He's making strides. He's been good the last 2 days in practice, and hopefully he'll carry over again till today.
After tonight, the Cats come right back home and play Vanderbilt Saturday afternoon. Last night, Vandy shot down Tennessee in Knoxville, hitting 13 threes. Cameron Justice hit 4 of them.
Well, it's a tough turnaround. The one good thing and the positive that I think you have to look at is that we have the early game on Thursday. The only kicker is that you're coming back and you're playing Saturday afternoon. You'd like it for it to be an evening game, but that's just the way that TV dictates.
Kentucky and Arkansas tonight in Fayetteville. You can see it at 7 o'clock on ESPN. The UK women also on the road tonight. They are at Ole Miss, where Coach Matthew Mitchell is hoping to see his team cut down on turnovers. The UK women have dropped 2 of their last 5 games. They've committed 96 turnovers over that period. Mitchell said for his team to achieve its goals this season, they need to get that number down.
I think right now if we could get under 15 it'd be great, and hopefully by the end of the season when we're trying to really make a push to be our best, it would be great in big games to get it to 12. That would mean we are playing some excellent basketball.
And the women's game tonight will follow the men's. It will start at 9 o'clock. It is on the SEC network as Kentucky takes on Ole Miss at Oxford. Stay with us now as we continue after the break. We'll be right back.